In the vibrant streets of downtown St. Andrews in New Brunswick, Canada, two teenagers, Jaden Petipuz and Aiden Hart, found themselves captivated by a curious scene. A crowd had gathered around a car, their attention fixated on a distressed creature trapped beneath it. Intrigued, the teenagers approached, only to discover that it was no ordinary squirrel that lay in distress. To their astonishment, the tiny creature was enveloped in foam insulation, the kind used to seal gaps in homes. It seemed the squirrel had unwittingly darted through the material while it was still wet. As it dried, the once nimble animal became ensnared, immobilized by its new confining shell. Moved by compassion, Jaden and Aiden realized the dire predicament this unusual squirrel faced. Without intervention, its chances of survival were slim. Determined to aid the desperate creature, the young duo hurried into a nearby grocery store, hastily retrieving a milk crate that could temporarily serve as a shelter for the squirrel. They swiftly reached out to friends and family, seeking guidance on how best to assist. After several unsuccessful attempts, fate led them to Dr. Melanie Egan, the caring owner of the St. George Veterinary Clinic. A phone call from one of the boys' mothers connected them with Dr. Egan, who was willing to extend a helping hand. Without hesitation, the group embarked on a 21-mile journey to deliver the fragile squirrel to the clinic, clinging to the hope that Egan possessed the knowledge to save its life. As they arrived and entrusted the creature into Dr. Egan's care, the veterinarian found it hard to conceal her disbelief. The squirrel's plight had rendered it almost motionless. Its mouth and nostrils were obstructed by the hardened foam, leaving it barely able to breathe. Though its hind legs exhibited some mobility, the rest of its body appeared encased in cement. Promptly, Dr. Egan sedated the squirrel, preparing for a meticulous rescue mission. Armed with rubbing alcohol and a flea comb, she embarked on the arduous task of painstakingly freeing the tiny creature from its confining prison of foam insulation. To her amazement, her efforts proved fruitful, and gradually, the squirrel began to shed its unwanted shell. For an hour that felt like an eternity, Dr. Egan worked tirelessly, removing every trace of the foam insulation. Though patches of fur were lost and the creature's skin bore abrasions, it emerged from the ordeal looking surprisingly intact. Despite the odds, the squirrel had persevered. Moved by the remarkable recovery, Dr. Egan marveled at the resilient spirit displayed by the squirrel. Exhausted from its traumatic experience, the creature nestled into a peaceful slumber, unaware of the watchful guardian at its side. Egan, resolute in her dedication, remained at the clinic throughout the night, ensuring the squirrel's safety. As the dawn illuminated the world outside, the squirrel stirred, invigorated by newfound vitality. Egan knew the time had come to return this resilient being to its rightful home. With a heart brimming with joy, she bid farewell to the grateful creature, releasing it back into the embrace of nature. Overwhelmed with gratitude, the squirrel scurried up a tree, expressing its delight at the return of freedom and good health. Egan couldn't help but reflect on the immense role played by Jaden and Aiden. Their compassion and quick thinking had been instrumental in preserving this life. Had it not been for their intervention, the squirrel's story would have been tragically cut short. As the squirrel disappeared into the wilderness, Dr. Egan couldn't help but feel a profound sense of gratitude for the unwavering kindness and compassion that had united them all on this remarkable day. The extraordinary rescue of the foam-covered squirrel became a local legend, spreading through the tight-knit community of St. Andrews. Jaden and Aiden were hailed as heroes, their selfless act inspiring others to show empathy and lend a helping hand to the creatures that share our world. From that day forward, the tale of the squirrel with the foam insulation coat served as a reminder that even the smallest acts of compassion can have a profound impact. The incident brought the community closer together, fostering a greater appreciation for the preciousness of life and the power of empathy. As the years passed, the memory of the foam-covered squirrel faded, but the lesson it imparted remained etched in the hearts of those who witnessed its rescue. It became a symbol of resilience and the extraordinary lengths we can go to save another being from despair. And so, the story of the squirrel became a testament to the indomitable spirit of compassion, forever reminding us of the profound effect we can have when we choose kindness, even in the face of the most unexpected circumstances. Prepare yourself for another profoundly touching tale that is bound to evoke tears of joy. When staff at Barking Mad Dog Rescue were told of several dogs tied to poles near the church, the volunteers didn't know what to think. In the depths of their hearts, people hoped that everything was not so terrible. But when they arrived at the indicated place, they were shocked. Later, the staff of the center admitted that they were not ready to see this. There were pillars in the churchyard of one of the Romanian cities. Dogs were tied, near 18 of them. Thin, hungry, they looked at people with unhappy eyes. Some of the chains with which the unfortunate animals were tied to the posts were so short that the dogs could not even lie down and were forced to stand or sit. The necks of many pets were crushed, and the poor felt pain. There was no water or food nearby, and the poor animals suffered in terrible conditions. However, as soon as they noticed two women who approached them, the dogs immediately rushed to them, joyfully waving their tails. They must have felt that people had come to save them, and they couldn't hide their happiness. When the dogs noticed us, they literally rushed to hug, said a volunteer named Jess, touched. But who did this to animals, you ask? Apparently, it was a local priest who took stray dogs off the street, but did not know how to properly care for them. When the volunteers asked him how often he feeds the dogs, the man replied that he gives them food every Monday and Thursday. It was strange to hear such an answer from an adult, but nevertheless, that's exactly how it was. All the dogs, of course, were very hungry and needed care, so the volunteers decided to take them with them. And although the shelter was overflowing with animals, it was impossible to leave the unfortunate orphans. After thinking a little, the staff decided to build several enclosures that could become a cozy home for four-legged homeless children. In the near future, several more are planned to be built, so the dogs will no longer have to sit on the street and even tied to poles. And, of course, now they are fed to satiety, because when they were found, the poor animals were underweighting. Those who needed treatment received it, and today there is no need to worry about their fate. Volunteers say that, despite the experience, all dogs are distinguished by their affectionate and kind disposition. Well, may they be lucky to meet caring owners on their way, and may none of these four-legged friends ever be on a chain again. I hope you like these stories. Please share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.